Please do not want to.
Yes. I'm sorry. So now we'll move to item number 4. Oh, this is your replat, Judy, right? The replat, sorry. Number 4, this is Fred Thompson, this is here. Replat of lots, public hearing on these replats, which is the replat of lot 417, 418, 430, and 431, the Cannon Lake Village Unit 10, recorded in Volume 1, page 68, Llano County Plat Records, Llano County, Texas, and described in a deed to some recorded in Volume 1037, page 282, Llano County Official Public Records to be known as Lot 417A, the Cannon Lake Village, Unit 10. And I believe the information is in your packet about this replat. Any public comments on this? Do we have anyone? Okay, then we'll close the public comment section, and now we will take up the replat of lots 417, 418, 430, and 431. And I believe Commissioner Moss gave you the checklist.
I did. I put a sign on the desk in front of you this morning. This is in Precinct 2. Commissioner Oski got of town. Go ahead. I believe it's pretty cut dry.
Yeah. And it appears that everything has been checked off.
He's just combined 4 lots into one so that he's got adequate room to build and put a septic system and have it all be on one lot. There's no floodplain.
There is no floodplain, you said?
No.
Yeah. No issues, Christie
No
said.
issues that I can.
Pretty clean.
Okay. Yeah, Linda had said it was fairly clean and easy. They're very small lots. They're just combining to make one larger lot. Okay. Any additional questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the replat of lot 417, 418, 430, and 431 in Cannon Lake Village, Unit 10, recorded in Volume 1, page 68, Llano County Plat Records, Llano County, Texas, and described in a deed to someone recorded in Volume 1037, page 282, Llano County Public Records to be known as Lot 417A, the Cannon Lake Village, Unit 10.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional comments or questions? All in favor? Passes 4-0. Thank you very much. All right. All right, thank you. Commissioner Moss has to leave, so we'll continue on. Item number 5, prohibiting or restricting outdoor burning in Llano County.
Well, we have a lot of rain.
Yes, we did.
That's great.
It's on the floor.
You may be a little bit coming in, but with that in mind, I believe we favor this item.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All in favor? Passes 3-0. Number 6, review and approve Llano County Emergency Services District Number 1 Audited Report for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2015. And Commissioner Jones brought us that report this morning.
Yes, you have it. I'd like to just refer to some highlights from the report. I'm going to speak for the Emergency Service District 1. This is the ambulance service in Horseshoe Bay. The service area is Horseshoe Bay, Blue Lake, Oak Ridge, Sandy Harbor is where it extends. So Emergency Service District 1 serves that area, and it is, the actual area is made up of part of Burnett County, so there's also a Burnett County Emergency Service District 1 as well. But this is purely the Llano section of it. I'd like you, if you just turn to some highlights, page 2 is a summary of the auditor's report. And in the last sentence, basically it says, in our opinion, the management discussion and analysis is clearly stated in all material respects in relation to the basic financial statements as a whole. And so basically our opinion is accepting the information they have reviewed in the audit. If you turn to page 3, which is the financial highlights, it's interesting, in this emergency service district, they had a reserve starting balance of about $825,000 as a reserve balance. And so what they've been doing over the last few years is gradually reducing that balance by slightly lowering the tax rate and having a deficit budget. In other words, they purposely are, in this case, the net assets decreased by about $88,000 this past year in an attempt to reduce the reserves and at the same time have a reduced and lower tax rate without drastic moves on that. So it's an attempt to gradually lower the reserves and benefit the taxpayers. The expenses, as I said, was about $88,000 more than the revenue that was generated $342,000. And as I said, the total cost of the program was $430,000. So that's the negative deficit. The balance at the end of the year then is $737,000 is the ending balance for this fiscal year ending 2015. So they're in a very, what I call a luxury position, you might say, where they're trying to keep the tax rates down and also give back to the taxpayers. If you look at page 13, which is a final, this is a summary of comparisons of budget year to year. And if you look at the revenues, on the total revenues on the page 13, you'll see that their expenditures were deemed to be the revenues, $336,000. They actually got more than they thought. They brought in $342,000. And the expenditures were deemed to be $434,000. They actually spent less than that, at $430,000. So they're about $10,000 off on their calculations to the good, in a sense, and so that's how they end up with that $737,000 balance. So the ESD1 has been audited. It's in good financial shape. They're attempting to give back to the taxpayers part of that reserve by reduced tax rates and running a slightly deficit budget each year. They plan to continue to do this ongoing. So,
very good.
any questions that I can answer from the commission?
No, that's great.
If that be, I would move that the Llano County Emergency Service District 1 audited report for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2015 be accepted by the court.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Passes 3-0.
And the clerk has a copy of the audited report.
Moving to item number 7, review and approve the 2015 racial profiling report for Constable Bill Edwards, Precinct 3. I believe that was in your packet.
Yes.
as well.
Copies of the package. Straightforward.
Yeah, I think well, we have 2 citations for the year, and so both of those are adequate. I move we accept the profiling report from Constable Edwards.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Passes 3-0. Moving to number 9, discussion of cost to date and projected final cost of renovations to the East Llano County Annex, including but not limited to materials, man-hours performed by Llano Building and Maintenance, and man-hours performed by inmates. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Your Honor, I requested this to see where we are on our on our total and final cost of that renovation. And I believe you have that on the discussion only section down here, so you'll give us an update
I will.
at that time.
What I have, I will give you, and I think, we could, maybe we put an email from Billy. That was actually in the first part, there was a report by Billy Connie on the progress that's been made.
So,
And I'll update you further what I know.
Okay.
So we remove item 9, or what are you doing?
What's your
Are you
pleasure?
gonna wait until 15?
Mr. Wilson?
Yes, based on the discussion on the update, build out of East Llano County Courthouse Annex by the judge, I will move to remove that item number 9.
Okay.
Take a second.
Good motion and a second. All in favor? Passes 3-0. Okay, number 10, discussion regarding cost of having all Commissioners Court meetings videotaped and posted on the Llano County website, as well as packet contents which are provided to all members of the court. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, a lot of counties do this, and they record it. Some of them even live stream it through the internet, which I think we can do that. We can afford to do that, but I would like to have them all videotaped and posted on our website for the folks that work and can't come see what the Commissioners Court, what we do. I checked with the auditor, and I believe we could, I'm thinking $200 per meeting. We could get that from non-departmental funds. And I just kind of wanted to get the court's discussion and ideas on whether you think that might be appropriate.
Sorry, when you say you think 200, have you researched this to come up with what the cost would be?
Well, Mr. Suarez there is $200, so that's what
Who are you
he's
talking
asking
about?
about.
I'm sorry.
The man back here with the camera,
What's this man's name?
Tom Suarez.
Tom Suarez?
And if not that, then we could certainly purchase a camera and do it ourselves. That's what I'm thinking. So a good camera, maybe $400 or $500.
Yeah, actually, I'm pleased with the progress we've made over the last couple of years, actually last year. Back early in my days as commissioner, I had requested that we post the minutes of the meeting on our website, and that was significantly opposed initially. I think, Ron, you were one of those who initially opposed me on that.
I oppose placing the minutes on
Yeah,
the
but
website.
And I will say, that was one of the first things I did when I took office, was
Right.
ask Janelle to do that, and she has started doing that. Marcy gets it to her, and it gets posted.
right, so now I'm glad to see that actually the minutes are posted on our website for all to see. So really, I think the court is really interested in transparency of its decisions and the results of the meeting. And so I'm glad to see that. I'm not sure about incurring any additional costs for us to do so. We do have our own, certainly, Llano County website. I'm not, that probably needs to be some work done on that website to upgrade it in some fashion.
I would like to get a website of our own, not tied to TAC, that's a little easier to manage and a little easier to maneuver, because frankly, our website, I think that it's rather complicated. I'm not necessarily opposed to this. I guess I just have a lot of questions that I think we need to answer before we move forward. I did check the law, and there is a law that gives counties the option of doing this. However, it applies only to counties of 50,000 or more, so we're well under that. The problems when you start doing it, though, is then you're required to maintain a 2-year record on the website. So once you start, you're tied in. You can't, it's not like, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, we won't do it. I mean, if you go down this road, you're gonna be locked in. I guess my other issue is, part of the suggestion was posting all of the items in the commissioners' packets.
And I failed to say except confidential, of course.
Well, and the problem then there goes to, we're gonna have legal counsel look at every packet every week to determine what's okay to be released, what's not okay. We have a mechanism through Freedom of Information Act requests that already provide the way for that to take place. So I'm just not sure of the wisdom of the expense related to going through this every other week and posting every single contract and everything that we get in our packets. The other part is, that would mean a lot of work for Janelle, and she's not really sitting without stuff to do most of the time. So I think it's definitely something worth looking at. Again, I think it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I just think we need to look at the legalities and the expense and the whole, all the ramifications of beginning, because like I said, once we begin, you can't really backtrack. So I just think, again, we need to look at it in more detail ahead of time, rather than just decide, yeah, that sounds great, let's go for it, and then find ourselves in a situation that's difficult to get out of.
Okay. That was discussion only anyways.
Okay. Anything else? And I think, Becky, do you concur with that or have any?
Prudent to, explore your options. Some competitive bidding for the expensive things.
Well, I put on there to get some discussion and ideas
Yeah.
and discussion.
Okay, finally then we'll move to the discussion only tax assessor collection report, which I believe was in your packet. And
94.4.
yeah, 94.409. So we're making progress, and it is just March, so hopefully we'll get it on up there. The next one was the update of the build out, and I did get a note, I had a note in the packet from Billy about the build out. He did say they have completed it says thus far they have had the main electrical service upgraded by Skip Hawthorne. They installed a new breaker box and ran all the wiring in the offices. They have framed up, sheetrocked, and textured all of the 3 new offices. They're finished painting. They finished painting last Thursday, I believe, and they're currently in the process of painting the drop ceilings, and they're waiting on the exterior doors and windows, which I understand were to be delivered today. They are due in today, Monday the 13th, he said, but it's the 14th. And the carpet tile is on order and due in last Friday or Monday. They had some drop ceiling track arrive, but it was damaged, so they're waiting on the replacements for that. And they will be starting on the exterior doors and windows, the flooring, and the front sidewalk and awning this week. They are expected to finish April 1st. He says that they are, as of now, they are within the budget. They are, I believe, just under $30,000 with everything that's been either already paid for or that's been incurred that's not been paid for yet. And he has sent all that to the treasurer and Cindy Lynn, I believe. He says that they were trying to finish this out without causing a problem for any of the court dates for the either JP2 or JP3. And in addition, they had to stop for the voting, which took place out there last week. Is that right, Cindy? Week before last. And so as not to interfere with the public trying to vote. So they have been on top of it. They've done, I think, a really good job. They have other projects that they're also going to be working on, so they've tried to be, they've been juggling several things at once, but trying to get this done. And anyway, I've been out there several times. It looks really good. They've done a great job. They did make some modifications from the original plan that we had looked at Commissioners Court maybe a month or so ago, based on the input they got from the staff that will be using the offices, the elected officials and the staff. And they tried to accommodate them as best they could without incurring too much more in the way of expenses. But it's looking really good, and hopefully it'll be a really good plan, and it'll accommodate everything that we need going forward.
Can we get something in writing on the costs?
We can, as soon as we get the numbers finalized. We'll send you an email, all the commissioners, with all of that information. But it is going to be, like I said, he assures me it's within the budget.
And I think I mentioned fast tracking, and I think you indicated there is no fast tracking on it.
No, there's no fast tracking.
And they're working weekends and holidays.
I don't know about holidays. I know they routinely do work weekends because obviously when you're working on a county office, you don't want to be, I know there was a thing out at Cindy's office with some plumbing issues. Well, they had to do it on weekends. They can't turn off the toilets and the water while people are working there during the week. They can't really turn off the electricity, and everyone's computer goes down. So they routinely work weekends and evenings so that they don't put out all of the people working in those buildings, and then they just do, they accommodate their schedule. Other days during the week they take off and accommodate it so that they keep it to 40 hours a week. So there's no, we don't pay overtime, and they don't accrue overtime. Any other questions?
Actually, I took a walk through it, so it looked pretty good layout.
I thought it did.
Yeah.
I think it's looking really good. So anyway, hopefully it'll accommodate some growth and future plans out there. All right, and then the update on the West Texas County Judges and Commissioners Association Annual Conference at Horseshoe Bay Resort. That will be the week of April 26th through 29th. They have sent out the final schedules for that. Everybody's really excited. Horseshoe Bay has already sold out. In fact, it sold out about a month ago. And they are now putting people in the overflow hotels there in the everywhere they can around Horseshoe Bay. And I understand the bed and breakfasts are full, and I think it's going to be a really, really good conference. It's going to help Llano County substantially because we have 119 counties from the county. They're all counties west of Llano. Llano is the easternmost county in the West Texas Conference. And all of those judges and commissioners are coming to Horseshoe Bay. They're all excited. I'm sure they'll be coming through here on the way, many of them, because this is the route they take, and be eating at some of our restaurants and shopping. And so anyway, hopefully this will be a real boon for Llano County. I'm looking forward to them seeing everything we have to offer. Llano County is hosting a welcome party the first night of the conference, and we're going to have, I think it's going to be really nice. We got some funds from several of the law firms that represent Llano County on our the properties.
Yeah.
And then we've gotten donations from other folks to help with the party, so there was no taxpayer money used.
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing. Did you say that you got contributions from attorneys?
From the two law firms, Linebarger, that does all of our property sales, gave some funds, and then the other, what's
To
that?
the association.
They gave it to the association, not to Llano County, for the party. The firms generally, at all of these conferences, the firms host parties. So basically what those two firms agreed to do was to host the Llano County party for us, which was great, because that meant that we didn't have to come up with anything. We have also asked some of the wineries in the area for some donations, just as gifts to the speakers. And Cooper's has given us a gift certificate as a door prize for one of the events. And so I think it's going to be a really nice conference. Anyway, it'll benefit Llano County immensely. Everyone is very excited, and we're looking forward to it. So anyway, be nice to everybody that you see coming through here late April, and give them the thumbs up, because hopefully they'll come back and visit in the future. The only other thing that's not on the agenda that I did want to tell people is that Fred Thompson, our county surveyor, passed away last Friday morning, and they will be having a visitation this evening, I believe, at the funeral home. I'm not sure which one, but I'm sure it's the one here in town. And then there will be a service tomorrow morning at 10 at First Baptist Church for Fred. So just keep Fred's family in your prayers. It's been a very quick but terrible time for that family. They've been trying to take care of him at home, and I know he wasn't doing well, but anyway, he's in a better place, and just keep him in your prayers, if you will. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.